I'm Kevin Zhen, and this is how to write the perfect Why Our College supplemental essay. First, we're going to take a look at these 3 golden rules, then we're going to analyze 2 essays that worked, one from Northwestern and another from Yale. But make sure you stick to the end for a special surprise. Rule number 1, no thigh prompt. The first golden rule, my dear virtual little siblings, is to pay very close attention to the precise wording of the prompt. In fact, why don't we take a look at Columbia versus Yale versus UPenn's phrasing right now? As you can see, Columbia and Yale want you to talk more broadly about the school, its culture, social life, etc. UPenn, however, already has another Why Our School community essay. So here, they really want you to just focus on academic offerings. But notice the language when it comes to UPenn's question. They want you to really fuse together the arts and sciences to create a unique path of study for yourself. In essence, they're looking to see if you have the innate drive, adventurous spirit, and creativity to really carve out your own one-of-a-kind academic experience. Yale and Columbia's prompts are far more open-ended. At first glance, these prompts may initially appear to be similar, but there's really some nuance here. Columbia is really looking for you to write about unique traditions or offerings, like the core curriculum. Meanwhile, Yale wants you to write about the stuff that led you to apply. Specifically, they want you to share your high school experiences, then articulate how what you will do at Yale is a continuation of what you've already done in the past. How do I know that? Well, because I read and analyzed all the transcripts from the Yale admissions podcast listed on the admissions website. Which brings me to rule number 2, mine for gold. In the Why Our School essay, yes, it is a good idea to mention a particular course, professor, and even the school's mission. Honestly, it's a fat red flag if you don't put at least 2 proper nouns in your answer. That said, if you really want to impress the admissions officer, find a club event or detail about an academic program that you think no one else will mention. For example, I love breaking. So when I was researching Yale and Princeton, I literally looked up Yale University breakdance videos. Along my search, I ended up stumbling upon an article that this current Yale breaking president wrote in the Yale Daily News. In that article, I actually found his email, so I typed up a message and reached out. A lot of students always ask me how to get in touch with a current student. Well, that's one way how. And by the way, talking to a current student is honestly one of the #1 cheat codes to writing an amazing Why Our School essay. You can read the newspaper, get their email, reach out. You can identify club organizations on Instagram, send them a nice DM. And another great tip I have is to check out this playlist, which took me 50 hours to make this past summer. There, I detail exactly what each college is looking for, so be sure to check out those videos after this video. The next rule is critical. It can make or break your application. You have got to know your contribution to campus. Instead of just listing a club, course, tradition, or event, explain how you are uniquely qualified to contribute to that club, course, tradition, or event. Here is an okay example. At Yale, I can't wait to volunteer with my fellow Casa family and at the Brazilian Club. Here is a much better example. As someone who grew up with a Taiwanese dad and Brazilian mom, I learned to master the art of making boba while stewing up some aromatic feijoada. I can't wait to invite my Brazilian Club buddies to boba fundraisers, all while sharing the honest highs and lows of my mixed heritage with my Casa family at Yale. Similarly, in my own Yale supplemental essay, I mentioned that what drew me to Yale, what attracted me there, was Yale's emphasis on the residential college system. I referenced how I'd grown up in a boarding school environment and mentioned how I'd contribute by frying rice for my future dormmates. In sum, there is a world of difference between saying, "This is what I like about NYU, Duke, Brown, MIT," and saying, "This is how I'll make my mark at NYU, Duke, Brown, MIT. Here's why I personally resonate with this place, and here's how I plan to immediately start giving back to the community." We are about to analyze 2 successful Why Our School essays, but before we do that, it would personally mean so much to me if you guys could consider liking and subscribing to our channel. And also, if you would like your essay professionally edited at any point in time, check out our website, www.elevated.school/editmyessay. Use this discount code referral15 to get 15% off your first edit. Moving on to 2 incredibly simple but incredibly powerful ways to tackle the Why Our School essay. The first approach is more story-based and got this student into Northwestern. The second approach is more list-based and got one of our students from a while back into Dartmouth. Let's start with Northwestern. I felt the cold sheets beneath me and the beeping sounds of a monitor next to my bed. My chest moving up and down and my body sinking into the mattress. I opened my eyes and was greeted with a plastic surgeon holding the cyst that was once in the corner of my eye. Medicine, I decided, was my destiny. Pretty solid writing. As you can see, we're beginning in media res or right in the moment. Very vivid imagery, especially with that detail about the plastic surgeon holding the cyst. Flash forward to 8th grade, the year I decided to read 100 books. Emerson, John Green, Ernest Cline, you name the author, I read them. I instantly became inspired to learn to write like the wonderful authors I'd read. So writing, I decided, maybe, was my destiny. Wait, or was it medicine? Well, perhaps it can be both. More voice, and humor too. As you can see, for this Why Our School approach, you'll want the first 100 words or so to center around you and your interests. Specifically, how you engaged with those interests. Note the use of proper nouns and even how the student highlights their vulnerability. Pretty fire opening, honestly. The thing I find most striking about Northwestern is its emphasis on the word and. Northwestern students can love computer science and music theory, poetry and Latin history, journalism and business. I can love science and English. At Northwestern, my interests would not be hindered by strict and unwavering guidelines. Rather, they could be effortlessly streamlined and integrated into one another. I could go from psych, brain damage and the mind, to English 206, reading and writing poetry, to Carol Klayberger's lab to continue my extensive research on T lymphocytes, similar to that I conducted at UPMC. I'd be learning each level of the human psyche, communicating my thoughts through writing and putting them into action through my research. Now, I know some of you critics might say, well, Kevin, can't some of these phrases be said about almost any liberal arts college? And the answer would be, well, yes. But what we should pay attention to here is how the applicant offers a thesis, emphasis on and, then backs it up with specific examples, like the psych course, English course, and research on T lymphocytes. This is by no means a perfect essay, but it is a very solid one. Moving on to the Dartmouth essay, here's the prompt. What aspects of the college's academic program, community, or campus environment attract your interest? In short, why Dartmouth? And here's the essay. The Indigenous Environmental Studies class taught by Professor Rio, leader of the Te Ara Moana project, the WISP internship, and researching the food energy water nexus, or optoelectronic nanophotonic materials in the Irving Institute for Energy and Society, building race cars with the DFR, working on the DH Helios project, and planting tomatoes at the O Farm, backpacking trips to Mount Musilaki with cabin and trail, participating in a martial arts tournament, watching musicals at the Hopkins Center with my suite mates, or taking an energy immersion trip at Dartmouth, where diversity, sustainability, and creativity are all valued equally. I can do it all. As you can see, this essay is chock full of proper nouns. Now you may be wondering, but Kev, this student didn't mention at all how they'd contribute to Dartmouth. And again, you would be right. However, keep in mind that the admissions officers are reading your supplemental essays as a whole. In another essay, this student wrote about their fascination with Native American farming techniques, plus how they contribute to the track team on campus. So while this essay didn't hit that contribution to campus note, they did address this point in other parts of their application. All right, my dear virtual little siblings, here's a present for watching until the end, a breakdance clip, and a video to the next most important supplemental essay, the academic essay. Catch you at the next one. Peace.